is how we get to see the other side of things that we never thought about. Sometimes it is the stories that are told, it is how it is told. The closest some of us have gotten to theater is watching it on TV and just asking, how many of you saw The Village Headmaster? I'm sure somebody is wondering, oh, I never had a village headmaster. That's good in Lagos. Alright, so it showed you what tradition was, it showed you how administration of policies and the judicial system was back in the days. I know that some of you also remember Ichoku. Ichoku was a reflection of lack of education or half of it, and how it affected a lot of people. So the journey of the theater dated back to people like Herbert Ogunde and even the traveling theaters. The traveling theaters back then would take about like 4 or 5 great talented actors who would go from village to village. They have singers, musicians, dancers, gaffers, all of them making sure that the production worked well. But the journey has brought us here today. I want to thank the Lagos State government, and one person particularly that I'd like to ask that will give a round of applause is a woman we've called EAP. Please give her a round of applause. And I believe that all of you that are gathered here today are here to see something wonderful. Please bear in mind that the actor is not acting for himself, but is acting for what you may not have the time to say. So please join me as we enjoy the rest of the evening. You're welcome. They did it well and helped tell the stories that everybody wanted to hear. They did not just tell the story, they lived it. And such sacrifices cannot God be celebrated. So tonight, we're going to invite another man who has given platforms for most of all these stories to be told. Please welcome Senator Ben Bruce. Give him a round of applause. I say now, we sound like pidgin English, shall we? Father. All right, please. Let me say something. When I started doing stand-up comedy, I want to thank the USIS. Then they were at Netibias. I had to dig into why stand-up comedy was so big in the US. And in understanding and reading about it, I found out that the blacks actually created stand-up comedy. Yes, you can applaud. Yes, we created stand-up comedy. And I'll tell you how. When I read it, it was just like a rebel. So, what happens is, the farm owners will gather the people around in the evenings because they work from 6 a.m. in the morning to 6 in the evening. And so they freshen up and do everything. By 8, he's eating his dinner, he'll come and sit down and have them perform. And so only those who wanted to have the next day free will stand up to perform. So they'll sit on the ground, and if you have a story to tell, you stand up. And they will say these things in the worst of all English language, and that is the Creole. And they'll come and perform. But one thing, why I'm trying to link this now, one of the things that our blacks did then was that because they came from different parts, the Kanuris, the Lupe, the Ashantis, the Zulus, they didn't understand each other's language. And so every time they came out to play music, they played only the instrumentals, which was why we created jazz. Because we didn't need to speak, we just played. And so that didn't clap. And so you would also understand that after creating jazz music and playing it in the farm for so long, when everything ended, they ended up at New Orleans. Because that was the home of jazz. Because you speak Yoruba, one speaks Kanuri, this one speaks Calabari, the other one, and we don't understand each other. But when we play music, it's clean and clear. The other thing that I need to talk to you about now is fashion. Most of the clothes that we had to wear then because we work in very hot and hard environment back then, we used to leave our bodies open because of the sun. And so when we then got there in cotton fields, we needed to protect our bodies from cold. And so we started wearing those thick clothes. For those of you who have seen most of the movies that were done, you'll see that we started getting used to those clothes. But fashion is now part of us. So we'll let you first see, that's why some Benin people will not have survived. Sonia, they said the first night when they woke up, they were all shivering. And nobody saw, they wore those clothes, but nobody saw them. Because they wore winter jacket, they were playing off key. So they said that one of them was saying, Baba, I'm not coming with you. They said, me, I'm not coming back. But ladies and gentlemen, our costumes still tell a lot about our history. And one of the places that our costumes make sense is the theater. Because we show the clothes, and costumes help to drive home the characterization of anyone. So please help us welcome, all the way from Benin, Oba Tope. Give them a round of applause. They are taking their time. They have it. They've seen an event once, and one woman's beat caught. She was trying to walk away. I said, Madam, come on, back. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the first time Dede Mabiaku took me to the shrine on Purple Street, and I was enjoying the show. And because I was a professional heckler from Ekuma, it was 1988, as I was heckling him on stage, he stopped the music and said, and so he was talking, I said, just yap me one, yap me 5 times and then I'll give you one. And he felt like I was very bold. Kufela, well, Dede was prompting me, yapa. So I told him, I said, Papa, just yap me 5 times and then I'll give you one. And he descended on me. Well, he had people who were all around that were laughing at everything he said. So when he finished, I said, Baba, something tells me that you were born on public holiday. He said, why? I said, because it looks like the nurses were not there to mold your head. That's why you have your own. I was told never to go to the shrine for a long time. Ofela had a bad mouth, and he was mostly right about our government. But just before we call on the fashion show that will depict some of these beautiful outfits, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to give Fela Abani a round of applause. I am the son of a millionaire.